I'm Shelton Wilder, and welcome to Wilder Possibilities Podcast, where each episode follows an entrepreneur's journey into the transformative power of that light bulb moment where everything clicks. I call that the click. Those pivotal points that redefine our futures, illuminate paths to success, and even change the world. Now let's get wilder. Hi friends, welcome back to another episode of Wilder Possibilities Podcast. I have my dear friend, and I'm going to say her name correctly. It's Jelena Trifunovic.
Yeah, now we can go home.
We're done now. And it's Viola Floral.
Correct.
Is her business she owns. And it's this incredible floral studio and classes and beautiful arrangements. It's everything. It's gifts. It's events. You do a lot.
We do.
You do a lot, you guys.
That's what you do when you start a company. You do it all.
You have to do everything. I know. Okay, so I was so excited to have you on. We've worked together a ton, and I'm always so grateful, and everybody's always so pleased, and I love referring you.
Thank you.
It's very high marks, thumbs up from clients that I refer.
Thank you.
Of course. And then I wanted to hear your backstory, where you're from, when you came to LA, and when you got your click.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, thank you, first of all. You've been a supporter, I feel like, since day one.
Because
the business is only 5 years old.
Yeah,
So
I've been around the whole time.
the whole time.
Yeah, we met through Leah.
Yes, through Leah. That's right. Who's in Orange County now.
She's the best.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for her with her marketing firm.
Yes,
she's
I
starting.
saw what she's doing.
Oh
It's
yeah,
great.
she's gonna crush. Oh,
I've already taken some of her tips that she's posting.
Yeah, I mean she's amazing.
Yeah,
I love her.
That's how we connected.
So good.
That's right.
Yeah.
But thank you for trusting us with all of your client gifts.
Yes.
And I know we did a team building workshop last year and bouquet bars for your open houses.
Yeah. The bouquet bars are great.
Yeah.
That I love calling it that. That's so cute.
Yeah. Well, this is not my first career. So I think you know that. Yeah. Well, how far back should I go?
I want to know where you're from. Like, you know how the reason I started this podcast too is because I have all these friends, these like awesome female and male entrepreneurs, like doing cool things. But then when do you actually sit down and say, like, tell me your exact story? You know, so you just know tidbits or you get to know each other here and there. But I like to know everything.
But that's part of your magic, Shelton, is like uplifting other women, you know, it really is.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing to do. So I think if you can boost people up and help them to shine and be their best selves, then it just makes everybody feel good. So
it does.
Yeah.
It does. It shows. So thank you again.
Of course.
Well, I was born and raised in Serbia.
Okay.
So I was there for almost 10 years. And then I actually came over when there was a Yugoslav War in the 90s.
Oh.
So my family fled the war.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, I don't think you knew that.
Nope. See, this is why we have the podcast.
So it was the early 90s. It was called Yugoslavia at the time. And so the country was breaking up. And my family is from Serbia. And so we were one of the lucky ones to flee the war. Everybody was getting drafted, and it was just a really tough time. So we moved to Santa Monica for no other reason than beautiful weather. And my dad had a job opportunity there. So
that's so lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, what a blessing. Wow.
Yeah. He worked for a Serbian newspaper. So, or like a newsletter. I think it was before the time of email and internet. And so we moved over here, and I have, there's 4 of us. So we lived in one little bedroom inside of a nice man's home that had us there for a few months. And then we ended up moving down to Orange County, and I studied, I was always had a love for the natural world and science. And so I majored in biology, and I moved to LA. I got to LA because I went to LMU. I don't know if you know that either.
Yeah. See? There you go.
So I was at LMU. I was studying to be, I was pre-med and then studying biology. And then I went into education. So I didn't end up going to medical school, but I went into teaching, and I loved teaching. I was in the inner city. So I worked at schools that were on the verge of closing, or had, students that were not graduating. And it was kind of like a Teach for America program. It was called Place Corps. It was for through LMU. And so that was so I was an educator for, I want to say almost 15 years. I was in teaching, and then I was a professor at Loyola Marymount University. I went back to my
your alma mater.
Yeah. And I was there in the School of Education, teaching teachers how to teach science, and also the assistant director of their Center for Math and Science Teaching. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And that was my plan. That was I was counting the tuition dollars that I was going to save because all of my kids were going to LMU for free.
Oh yeah. So you were like, yes, that was fun.
The game plan, but flowers were always a part of my life. My parents had a restaurant growing up. So there were flowers, that was kind of my job. And then I worked in hospitality and had to work all throughout college. And so I had a lot of different jobs, either in retail or at restaurants. And so I feel like that's where I really honed my customer service skills.
Yeah. Well, you have that. You've got that for sure.
Thank you. It's all about the attention to detail.
Yes.
As you know.
And just, you're so kind. All that. Thank you. That's really helpful too.
Well, we spread joy through flowers, so kindness is a must.
I mean, what if you were like some rude, nasty lady trying to
no one would want my flowers.
No, that's what I mean. Like that would just not. That makes me laugh. But no, never. And so what was your restaurant?
So it was down in Lido Marina Village, which is now a really hip place.
Lido?
It's where Malibu Farms is right now, but that's where my parents had a restaurant. That's where I spent my teens working there. So it's funny because my family now, I'm married. I have 3 children, ages, a boy that's 13. So I'm in the teen years.
Oh my gosh. I'm coming
it's a
up
whole
on it.
different thing. I've been warned. And then I have another 10-year-old boy, and then I have a 7-year-old girl. But, everybody complains now that I have to work holidays, but really as a child, like we were always used to working holidays because when you're in the restaurant industry, it was like a family thing. Like we all worked, all of the holidays and Mother's Day and Valentine's Day. Those were the busiest times. So I feel like I really focused on great customer service. I learned a lot. And then I did flowers on the side. I did a lot of flower arranging with my mom, just as a hobby. She would read like Martha Stewart back in the day, and she'd cut up lemons and put them in her vases. And I was like, Mom, what are you doing? And she's like, don't worry, it's going to catch on.
Like Martha. Yeah. Now she's like so iconic.
Did you see the documentary?
Yeah, loved it.
Loved it too. I loved it.
It's so funny.
Yeah. And I loved what she said. I think she said like, my goal is just to learn something new every day. And I could really connect with that. Yeah. I'm pretty self-critical. So at the end of every day, I'm like, okay, what did I learn today? What could I do better?
Oh,
so
really?
I really connected with that.
You do your little Martha vibes over there?
I have Martha vibes. Sometimes I don't like to admit it, but
my gosh. She's savage though.
Yeah, she really is. I didn't know she had a career as a stockbroker. I was surprised to learn that.
I could see that though. Yeah. She's fantastic. I love her. But okay, so you were going along and how you were teaching, and how did it 5 years ago?
Yeah, so I was teaching and I was never planning on changing careers. Yeah. And I told you I was counting my tuition money. Of course, for all your
kids. Yeah.
And then grief happened. So that's really how it all happened. So grief happened. My mom had a 4-year battle with pancreatic cancer, which is a really, really tough cancer because the pancreas is so where it's located physically. It's a hard cancer to catch. And so my mom was diagnosed in 2013. She was given 6 weeks to live. And then somehow we stretched it to 4 years, almost 4 years. She was getting her treatment at Cedars. She had the most amazing team, and I was managing her care, and I was still working and raising my kids. And
that's a lot.
It is a lot, but we all go through a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just
do it. Yeah. You just do it. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
So true.
You just do it. And so I really bonded with my mom during her cancer journey. I know it was a time of, they call it anticipatory grief. I learned because you're like anticipating
when she's going to go.
And because she was always, she just had a lot of health emergencies. So we always thought it was mom's last Christmas. It was mom's last birthday. It was mom's last. So we celebrated because she was a social butterfly and she was like a hostess with the mostest.
Oh, wow.
And so we went all out for mom. And we had a lot of parties, and those parties had a lot of flowers. So flowers were like always, they're always a part of the Serbian. I mean, there's a lot of celebrating in the Serbian culture.
Okay.
A lot of dancing on tables, but that's a different podcast.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And we really brought the family together during the time that she was sick. And there was always a lot of flowers, and it became a little hobby that she and I worked on. You know, she had like her little art class for cancer patients and gentle yoga for cancer patients, but we had our flower arranging for the two of us.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was great. She was a great lady. She carried greeting cards in her purse just in case it was someone's birthday.
Oh, she's so sweet.
And then she would run to the restroom and write her little cards. And she was just so thoughtful, and she loved life, and she loved celebrating. And so I feel like this culture of just like celebration, which is flowers. I mean, when you send flowers, you send love, and you send joy, and you send a piece of your heart. So she was just a social butterfly. And so when she passed away, I left my job. Wow. And actually she passed away and I found out I was pregnant the same month. Yeah. Within the same month.
With the baby.
With my
girl. The little girl.
I got a girl.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you feel she has a lot of your mom?
I do.
And her?
Yeah,
oh.
I do. I was for sure thought I was having another boy, which would have been great.
Yeah.
But when I learned it was a girl, I was like, this makes sense.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
And I had such a lovely relationship with my mom.
That's incredible to hear. You don't always hear that. I mean, I love my mom, but oh my gosh, she passed too, but wasn't like that. You're describing.
It wasn't always like that.
I'm like, wow.
But it was, I think a lot of it was too like the immigrant mindset too, because it was like everybody's problem was everybody's problem. And we collectively, it was just the four of us. All of our extended family was in Serbia. And it's funny to think of it now because my parents left their home country when they were my age with two young kids that are my kids' age. So it gives me like a different perspective, but we really did stick together. And it's beautiful that I get to like have that relationship with my own daughter, Anna, that I'm on the other side of it after my mom's passing. So there's a little bit of comfort there,
And is your dad still around?
Yeah, my dad is still around. He's in Serbia. He lives there half the year.
Oh, he goes.
This is his first winter he's spending there. Usually he's there for the summer and here for the winter.
Yeah.
I'll have to check in with him in February and see how
he's doing over there.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was I took a leave. I just left. It was like a switch.
You're like, I can't.
When I found out I was pregnant, and my husband was really encouraging of me taking time off. Well, my mom was sick, but I don't know if you felt like this, like when life is just really stressful, sometimes work, because it's so structured and because I was good at it and I did my best, and there gives you a purpose. It gives you a purpose. Yeah. It was like the part of my life that I felt like I had a little bit of control over, versus everything else that was unfolding with uncertainty. Yeah, for sure. Really relate to that. Yeah. So, but then afterwards, and then you were pregnant and you were like, okay. Now so I just left and I left with no plan. I just took some time off. And during that time, and to be honest, the anxiety was really high. Like my grief was really deep. And they say that someone said to me, the depth of your grief is the depth of your love. That literally, I had Denise Denovi on earlier today. She said the exact same quote. Really?
She was talking about her husband that passed and said that exact same thing. And she became an artist, and she's like a big Hollywood producer. All these big movies, but became an artist later because of grief. It's wild how all of these, like, some beautiful things can really come out of it.
Yeah. I mean, as we all go through really tough times, I think you hit a point where you have to go inward and you have to think about what gives me purpose, what brings me joy, what connects me to my mom. And during that time, I turned to flowers.
Wow.
Yeah. Not planned, but I would, on those days where it was hard to get out of bed and make it through the day, I would say I was also pregnant. So I'm grieving and I'm pregnant and there's a lot going on with
and
hormones.
You have two others.
And I have two others. So during that time, I just would drop the kids off. I'd make it to Trader Joe's. I'd fill up my whole basket with flowers. And then I came home and I arranged flowers. I would put on music, maybe light a candle.
Aww.
And I thought about my mom and I thought about all of the amazing celebrations that we had. And my mom's parting words were, use the fine china, wear the dresses, wear your nice shoes, bring out your nice purse because you can't take it with you.
Yeah.
Like, don't save anything and
just
say, just go for it.
Yeah.
Just like, and I do it. Like, I'll buy a new outfit and I'll like take the tags off right away because I want to wear it. I want to enjoy it. You can't take anything with you.
Yeah. Just live it up to the full. What was her name?
Yubica is her name, but the Latin translation is Viola.
And that's where it is?
I don't know if you knew that.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I just asked that.
Yeah, so Viola,
I didn't know that.
It's my daughter's, her name is my daughter's middle name too, but yeah, so that's how I came to Viola Floral. Everyone thinks I'm Viola.
I know. Yeah. People say that. I think I called you that like forever ago. And then they were like, no. I was like, oh my. Yeah. So that's so interesting how you got it from.
Life's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I never intended to launch a flower business. So this is 2019.
Yeah.
And so I'm making a shit. Oh shoot. Can I
cuss? Yeah.
Okay. I'm making a shit ton of flowers.
Yes.
And then my husband eventually was like, you need to start giving these away. There was a lot of flowers in the house. So he's like, hey, man. Yeah. Well, I just started giving them away to people and to loved ones, to friends. And I think at first it was like people would hear the knock on the door and they're like, okay, here's Yelena and her grief. Like, let's be kind. And everyone was kind.
Yeah.
But I dropped off a lot of flowers in 2019. And then one of my dear friends, Sandra, she owns a Pilates studio, but she said, you should do this. And I was like, do what? And she's like, do this as a business. And I was like, I am doing it. And she's like, no, you should really do it. So that's really how the idea came to be as a business idea, because my plan was to go back to work.
Oh, you were
go back to LMU.
Yeah.
And so I thought about it and I talked to my husband about it and he was really supportive.
Oh, great.
That was before COVID. He's in commercial real estate.
Yeah.
So that was,
he's like, great.
He's like, great, go for it. And then 2020 hit.
Oh God, really? I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you did make it into a successful business.
Well, because flowers were very successful during COVID. It was.
Wait.
So we launched in December of 2019.
Yeah, but why were the flowers so successful?
Because we couldn't see each other.
So people would send
flowers, send gifts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the few, not initially. If you remember in Instagram, what was floating around on social media was all the dumpsters full of flowers. And people were trying to donate flowers and hospitals wouldn't even take them. Like nobody would take them.
Yeah.
That was a crazy time to think about.
It really is. I was down here before this was remodeled. It was like a dungeon and I didn't get out of pajamas for 2 weeks. And I had this coach and she was like, get out of those pajamas. She's just like, you have to dress up every day. You have to wear your heels in your house. I don't even care. And then real estate went crazy. It went crazy. It was unbelievable. I worked every single day, but like those first 2, 3.
I remember
2, 3 weeks. Yeah.
we were sending a lot of gifts.
Yeah. I was. It was like going crazy. I was like, oh, here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nuts. And
It
so
was nuts.
I guess that's why you were sending a lot of, not just me, but like gifts. Like,
yeah, because well, how it really started. So I intended, kind of, what do you think about when you launch a business? I need a website. So my brother, Marco, happened to get laid off during that time. He's in digital marketing.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, hey, I am so sorry about your job, but can you please build me a website?
What? I need a website. Yeah.
And I was like, you'll never have 2 weeks, free. So he built the website.
Wow.
And it really, the whole business, I mean, Viola Floral it's all from love. It's all family and friends that have come together. So he built the website. My best friend is in PR and she helped me with all the messaging. My other college roommate best friend has a social media marketing agency. So she helped me with all the copy and the strategy.
Wow.
And then we got it up and going, and then COVID hit. And I was just kind of thinking, I mean, it was those couple months were crazy, but then people started ordering and everybody was like, it's my mother-in-law's birthday. It's my wife's birthday. And
then you can't go to dinner.
You can't do anything.
Yeah. So it's like, we'll spend that on this nice gift or flowers. Yeah.
And then, people started asking for, like, do you have a candle? Do you have chocolates? Do you have luxury, bath or beauty products? And so I called, I made a list of all of my favorite brands.
Yeah.
And I cold called all of them. And I had my business all set up and everything, but nobody was doing everybody was hurting and everybody was lovely. And we all set up wholesale accounts. And then I built this amazing gifting line.
Yes.
These gift boxes with fresh flowers included or succulents. And so that's how the gift, initially it was just fresh flowers. And then the gifting line came second.
Yes. It was beautiful. Yeah. It's so beautiful. Yeah.
And then I don't know, it was late one night, I think when the kind of the whole business concept came together. It was late one night at 2 a.m. after a breastfeeding session, when you can't go back to sleep. And I feel like it's when the best ideas come. It's like,
we're like,
and the best shopping.
Yeah. Late night.
Yeah. Late night. And so I went to the LMU library portal and I was like, does my login still work? And it did. But I typed in flower arranging mental health and wellness research because at this time I noticed my anxiety was better. My grief was, grief is just something you learn to live with. I feel like you never work through it or get over it. But I was working through my grief and I typed that in the search bar and all of this research came up from Harvard and Rutgers and dozens of other institutions about how flowers lower stress and lower anxiety and promote mindfulness. And so that was the moment where I kind of thought to myself, I want to create a company that not only focuses on the beauty of flowers because they are really beautiful, but also their mental health and wellness benefits. So that's how the workshops came to be.
Yeah. Well, we did it. We loved it. It was so fun.
Did you feel less stressed?
With the team. I mean, I don't think I feel that much. I mean, I just am always here. But it's not like a stress level. It's more of like, just like what do you call that? Just an energy level.
Yeah.
Like a wild amount of energy. I don't know what that is.
Shelton Wilder.
But Wilder, yeah, it is. But I felt like proud and excited, and I loved all the tips.
Well, as adults, we don't learn new tasks often.
No, so it was like fun, and we did it in the backyard. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and I think your team loved it too.
We loved it. Everybody loved it. Yeah, because you learn some things, and then you also are like you get to take something with you. You're like, oh, I did that. Yeah. This feels really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I mean, that's when we really honed in. Well, first of all, for a while I was thinking to myself, I have a graduate degree. I have all this experience in education.
Yes. And educate.
And now I'm making florals. Is there a way to marry the two?
Yeah. And you did it.
Well, and I call it my gift of COVID. That was my gift of marrying my two careers because it started with Bloom Zooms. Remember all of the Zooms, all the Zooms we did on Bloom Zooms. What did we do? Like sourdough bread, and I can't remember.
Oh yeah, people were like bringing specialty cocktails and like
the cocktail making, the cooking classes on Zoom. And so one of my clients said, "Will you do a flower arranging workshop on Zoom?"
Oh my God,
so I was like,
fun.
"Let's call them Bloom Zooms."
That's so smart. Yeah.
So I made my family deliver buckets of fresh flowers to everybody because you couldn't really have delivery people yet.
Oh yeah.
And then we would all log on, and we were really proud. I mean, we brought together like groups of lawyers, like we started shipping nationwide.
Wow.
And that is how the workshops got started.
Oh God, I didn't know that. That's so cool. I love that.
And then I got my first big break, and I feel like when you're in the business, in the beginning of starting a business, you just say yes.
You say yes to everything. Oh my God. Wait, what was your big break?
So Dior Beauty called, and they said, "Hey."
Wait, I remember that.
Yeah. A lovely Erica is this a lovely human being I connected with. And so we connected, and we did a couple of Bloom Zooms.
Yeah.
And then she called me and said, "Hey, can you design 12,000 bouquets and have them shipped nationwide as a gift with purchase?" So I remember
get out of here.
I remember being
I did not know that.
on the phone in my kitchen with my crazy children, in the background. And I was just like overjoyed and filled with delight. And I said yes. And then I hung up the phone, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what have I done? How do I do this?"
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we've done over 30,000 bouquets with Dior to this date. And
wait, every time,
just so different activations that they do. And they've just been such a wonderful client. But
I remember the big event you did though.
Yeah.
That you did. They had like,
we've done outdoor, a lot of events, and it's just great. But I think that you have those moments, I'm sure you have them in your career, where you say yes because you have to. And then we built an amazing team. We developed great relationships with our vendors. And just because of the volume. And I think that just has been such a blessing with the business as it's grown.
Wow. Yeah. No, that
was really fun.
That's a big click moment, I would say.
That was a big click moment. It was.
It came from a Bloom Zoom.
Yes, it was a beautiful connection and trust, and we have a great team. So
that is amazing. So you've been working with them. So that's
we've been working with them, and then we do a lot of corporate work. So we do a lot of flower. Yesterday I was at Google. So with their HR team doing workshops, they're focused on blooming in the workplace, flowers for corporate health and wellness.
Blooming. Blooming. Great taglines for all. I love all this. This is great.
Well, our business tagline is "Live in Full Bloom," which is inspired by what I was saying about my mom. Just always got to live in full bloom.
Yeah.
Life is short.
I feel like our moms would have been good buddies. My mom was obsessed with flowers.
Yeah.
And arranging and always.
What's her favorite flower?
Perfect. Her favorite flower, she loved hydrangeas. Mm-hmm. And she loved peonies.
Those are good ones.
That's my favorite flower.
Peonies?
Yeah.
I saw them up in your kitchen.
Yeah. Well, they had some of it. Sometimes if they're whatever Katie finds. Yeah. I don't have the bloom thumb, that's not my gift. But that's why I love having flowers around though, because it does remind me of my mom too. Like she would do the flowers for the Deb balls and like all that big stuff, like big, she loved event flowers and never as a business, but she could have. She was a little.
Did she have a big personality?
Huge.
Because those flowers have huge personalities.
Oh,
hydrangeas
huge.
And peonies, huge personalities.
Yeah, so I always tell people, I'm like, oh, you think I'm a lot? Like, I'm like in a coma compared to my mom. Literally, like hi. I mean, so. Yeah.
Well, you're a peony and she's a peony in full bloom.
Yeah. She's all out. All the flower, all the petals have bloomed. But yeah, so I know that's so sweet.
Well, that's the beauty of flowers is that they connect us to each other They connect us to nature. And even in terms of like the mental health and wellness benefits in the research, flowers, like the scent of flowers, they have the power to transport us to memories long forgotten. You know, when you smell a flower, like for me, every time I smell or see chamomile, I'm like transported to being, I want to say I was probably 8 or 9, and I'm in a little village that my mom is from.
Yeah.
And then my grandma, she never finished school, so she couldn't write. So she would dry chamomile and dry all of these herbs in her little shed. And then I would write the names for her and label all of her. And I'm like taken back to that moment just by the scent of chamomile. I'm sure you have something that you smell like a flower that takes you back.
Yeah, but that's a special one that you have. What's your favorite flower?
Lily of the Valley.
Oh, it is.
It's a special flower in the Serbian tradition. And we have something, every family has like a patron saint.
Oh.
So our saint is St. George, and that's kind of the flower of the month.
Oh, wow.
And I used to tell my mom, because Lily of the Valley has the little tiny flowers. So I always used to tell my mom in Serbian, I would say, I'm your little Lily of the Valley. So,
oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
It's an expensive one though.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't grow here. In Serbia, you can like find it
everywhere. So you're like, oh, it's my favorite. But
well, for my wedding, I really wanted to have a Lily of the Valley bouquet like they do. And I think Princess Kate had one.
Oh, wow.
And Princess Diana.
Yeah.
I think it's like a tradition, but it's like a $1,000 bouquet.
Oh yeah. So. You're like, maybe.
Even at wholesale.
Yeah. You're like, that maybe not. Maybe that. Oh gosh, that is. And so I'm thinking about your dad though. Is he like, I know he's back there too. Do you talk to him all? I feel like that's so sweet. I don't know why I keep thinking about your dad.
But my dad is living his best life.
He is? Is he? Did he date or anything like that? Or is he just like?
He built a home in right outside of where he grew up. He has like a beautiful piece of land.
Yeah.
He's building his home. Yeah. It's been a few years. He's still working on it. He's doing it himself now.
Wow.
He's tinkering away and he's traveling and
that sounds great.
I mean, it's interesting. Life is interesting. You know, I think something that was really sad was you kind of think about an immigrant family and how hard they work throughout their life. And then there's this kind of thought of getting to retirement and being able to enjoy your life. And my mom passed right at that time. But I think my dad, I haven't asked him directly, but it seems like he's enjoying himself.
Good.
Yeah. And we're happy for him.
I'm happy. I don't know why.
Yeah. And my brother is still on our, I mean,
where's
I don't have a board, but I have my brain trust. And so it's.
Well, your husband.
My husband, my brother.
Your brother.
My sister-in-law who works in the business. Oh, wow. So she came in a couple years ago.
Oh, wait, I've met her.
Mala. Yeah. So we started with the fresh flowers, and then we added the luxury gifting boxes.
Yeah.
And then we added the workshops. And then we did the large projects and all of the brand activations.
Oh, God.
And then we added a lot of events. So we do a lot of weddings and corporate events and all of that. But about 2.5 years ago, I just got to the point where I was so busy. I mean, you know, where you really need someone that you can trust, that you can just hand everything over to.
Yeah. I mean, you have to.
Yeah. So I was really lucky
that she.
Well, I gave her all the spreadsheets. I was like, I hate the spreadsheets.
And she's good at that.
She was in aerospace for 20 years.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So she was crazy on doing top secret stuff that I still don't know about. I'm still like, what did you do? And she's like, I can't tell you.
She's like, NDA.
I'm like, I know. I hope it slips out at some point, like that you reveal something. But she's like, I can't tell you.
She's like, and now we're doing spreadsheets and flowers. So
she does all of the operations and the finance. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it
was great, and so that's really been, it's the love and the support from all walks of life, and the brain trust, and it's not easy raising kids and having 2 working parents.
Yeah.
It's a lot of shuffling.
A lot of moving parts, but it always ends up working. But it feels like you guys have just been so growing. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I can't take any credit. I come up with the designs and I feel inspired by flowers and I do still teach all the workshops, but it's really a labor of love. We have an amazing team. Yeah. A really, really great team. There's 4 of us full time and there's a lot of part time because when you pick up, 2-3 events on the same day, it's a
you're
lot
like,
yeah. So sometimes, for the Dior projects, we were a team of 40.
Oh my God.
So it was, but we're a family. I approach, sometimes you spend more time with people at work than you do with your own family.
I know. Let's say, yeah, exactly. That's why it's got to be ones that you really care about.
In the Serbian tradition, we start each day with a hug and a kiss.
Oh,
so
that's
everybody
so
kind of receives each other. Yeah.
I love
still
that.
to this day.
That's so sweet. Oh my God. Well, do you still have the space?
So we're on 11th and Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been there for a year.
Okay. Because we kind of went when you opened.
Yeah, you've been to both locations.
Yeah.
We were on Montana and 9th Street, and then we moved over to 11th in Colorado.
Yeah.
So we're there, and
it's amazing. You do your workshops and...
Yeah, we do all of our workshops. We have 2 open workshops per month that each have a different theme depending on the season.
Yeah.
So those are in the studio, and then for our private workshops or corporate workshops, we'll go to our clients' homes.
Yeah. That's so great.
Yeah. Well, it's never a dull moment. It's something different every day, different flowers, different colors.
Different every day. Yeah. That's what I love about work. If it was the same, I would be.
Well, I'm working with people.
Yeah. Oh, I love people. And you do too. So.
Well, you get to be a part of their special moments. Every time I write my thank you note, it's always like, thank you for letting us be a part of your event through flowers. It's such a privilege.
Yeah.
To celebrate with you.
I've been listening to that Rhonda Bren. She wrote The Secret and The Greatest Secret and Secret of Money, and she wrote this one called Magic. And really, it's all just about saying thank you all the time to everybody. And it's like flowers are such a thank you. I don't know. I just let their love and thanks and gratitude and then you say that to your clients too. That's so sweet.
Well, you send a piece of your heart when you send flowers.
Yeah.
Like you really do, whether it's a bereavement or a congratulations. It's like you're sending joy, you're sending your love, you're sending a piece of your heart. And it is, it's thank you to everybody that's helped us grow and get to this place.
Oh,
and it really is gratitude and love.
All the time. Because, nothing gets done without a village. It's not like, oh, look what I've done. Or you're not like, oh, look what I've done. No, it's just like, oh my God, look at this team. Look at how we've all come together.
Yeah. Well, and it sounds like, I know it, and I always say this during my workshops, it sounds like the story is of like grief and anxiety, and then it goes up like this, but it doesn't. It goes up. It's always up and down and up and down. And, I love to share our first Valentine's Day. I was like so excited. We hit up all of our family and friends and referrals. And I was like, thank you all for ordering. It was just so much love and support. And we got all of our orders in, and I went downtown to go. And I always had this stereotype of, why is everything so expensive on Valentine's Day? Like, why, is a bouquet of a dozen roses so pricey? And I never changed my prices for Valentine's Day. So I kept everything the same. And I remember getting to the flower market on February 13th in the morning and walking in and seeing that everything was marked up like 250%. And we made zero in profit. And I came home.
You were like a negative. You were at a negative.
Well, my husband was doing the deliveries, and my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law were making the bouquets with me.
Oh,
and I was like, I cannot tell these people that there is zero profit in this holiday. My nanny's husband was doing.
My gosh!
So we made everything, and then at the end, my husband was like, "So how did we do?" And I was like, it was. I have something to tell you."
You were like, "That was so amazing. We did a lot of great marketing.
Yes,
but we got $0."
And then I understood. I was like, "Oh, you walk in, and it's like the Twilight Zone. Everything is." not what it
Crazy.
was 3 days ago.
And you can't buy it from last week. You can't buy it.
They actually hold the flowers in February and May. They'll hold flowers. So like there are times in the season where you're looking for red roses and you know they're holding them. They're hard to find because
Wow.
I mean, it's supply and demand.
Yeah. They're running a business too.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
so there's a lot of, as you know,
you learn some things.
You learn some things, but I really, paying attention to detail is huge for us and for me and the way that we've built the company and like Martha, what did I learn today? What can I do better tomorrow?
Oh gosh, with Martha.
We started with Martha.
We got to fit. She's
full circle.
I love her. I want to see everything.
Maybe she'll listen to the podcast.
I know, maybe. Yeah. We love you, Martha. You're so interesting. Really. Oh my God. Okay. Well, how can everybody find you?
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, violafloral.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. One word, Viola Floral. And we're on Instagram, the same.
Yeah.
Same. And, we're still a small business. So all of the phone numbers and emails still end up.
They're like right to you.
Yeah. They go right to me, which I love. I love connecting with clients.
Yeah, me too. I know every single thing. Yeah. It's not like, it's going to some random.
Yeah.
No, it's like.
Yeah. And if you ever need like a same day delivery, you can give us a call too. We get fresh flowers every day. So that's kind of been a motto of ours is we don't hold product for the week. We get Monday through Saturday. We have fresh flowers coming in every day. Yeah.
That's so special.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I love you, friend.
Thank you. I love you too.
Happy that you're here. And
I hope I did okay.
You crushed it.
Thank you.
You crushed the podcast. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay. And your mom would be proud too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Our moms.
So sweet. Our moms.
We love your moms. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
I'm Shelton Wilder, and welcome to Wilder Possibilities Podcast, where each episode follows an entrepreneur's journey into the transformative power of that light bulb moment where everything clicks. I call that the click. Those pivotal points that redefine our futures, illuminate paths to success, and even change the world. Now let's get wilder.